Chapter 29 is called Start with the Kersey and Finish with the Thread. Miggery Sal's luck continued. On her first day on the job as a castle servant, she was sent to deliver a spool of red thread to the princess. Mind, said the head of the serving staff, a dour woman named Louise, mind that she's royalty, so you must make sure to curtsy. How's that? Shouted Mig. You must curtsy, shouted Louise. Gore, said Mig. Yes'm. She took the spool of thread from Louise and made her way up the golden stairs to the princess's room, talking to herself as she went. Here I am, off to see the princess, me, Miggery Sal, seeing the princess up close and personal like. And first off, I must curtsy before she is royalty. At the door to the princess's room, Meg had a sudden crisis of confidence. She stood a moment clutching the spool of thread and muttering to herself. Now how did that go, she said. Give the princess the thread and then give her a curtsy? No, first the curtsy and then the thread. That's it. Gore, that's right. That's the order. Start with the curtsy, finish with the thread. So we know she misheard Louise, right? It's curtsy. She knocked at the princess's door. Enter, said the P. Mig, hearing nothing, knocked again. Enter, said the P. And Mig, still hearing nothing, knocked yet again. Maybe, she said, the princess ain't home. But then the door was flung wide, and there was the princess herself staring right at Miggery Sal. Gore, said Mig, her mouth hanging open. Hello, said the P. Are you the new serving maid? Have you brought me my thread? Curtsy I must, shouted Mig. She gathered her skirts, dropped the spool of thread, stuck a foot out, and stepped on the spool, rocking back and forth for what seemed like quite a long time, both to the watching princess and the rocking Mig, and finally fell to the floor with a Miggish thud. Whoopsie, said Miggery Sal. The P could not help it. She laughed. That's all right, she said to Mig, shaking her head. It's the spirit of the thing that counts. How's that? Shouted Mig. It's the spirit of the thing that counts, shouted P. Thank you, miss, said Mig. She got slowly to her feet. She looked at the princess. She looked down at the floor. First the curtsy and then the thread, Mig muttered. Pardon, said the P. Gore, said Mig, the thread, and she dropped to her hands and knees to locate the spool of thread. When she found it, she stood back up and offered it to P. I brought you your thread, didn't I? Lovely, said the princess as she took the thread from Mig. Thank you so much. I cannot seem to hold on to a spool of red thread. Every one I have disappears somehow. Do you remember where the red thread goes? I think the mice take it to use in their mouse council, right? Are you making a thing? Asked Meg, squinting at the cloth in the P's hand. I am making a history of the world. My world, said the P, in tapestry. See, here is my father, the king, and he is playing the guitar because that is something he loves to do, and he does it quite well. And here is my mother, the queen, and she's eating soup because she loved soup. Soup? Gore, that's against the law. Yes, said the princess, my father outlawed it because my mother died while she was eating it. Your mother died? Okay, wait for me downstairs. Your mother died? Yes, said the P. She died last month. She bit her bottom lip to stop from trembling. Ain't that something, said Meg. My ma died too. How old were you when she died? Bold was I, said Meg, taking a step back away from the princess. I'm sorry. No. How old were you? Shouted the P. Not but 6, said Meg. I'm sorry, said the princess. She gave Meg a quick, deep look of sympathy. How old are you now? 12 years. So am I, said the princess. We're the same age. What's your name? She shouted. Miggery Sal, but most just call me Mig. And I saw you once before, princess. You passed me by on a little white horse.
Can you take this thing off?
Yes. Wait right here while I finish reading. You passed me by on a little white horse. On my birthday it was, and I was in the field with Uncle's sheep, and it was sunset. Did I wave to you? Asked the princess. Huh? Did I wave? Shouted the P. Yes, nodded Meg. But you didn't wave back, remembered the princess. I did, but you didn't see me. Someday I will sit on a little white horse and wear a crown and wave, said Meg, and she put up a hand to touch her left ear. I will be a princess too. Really, said P.
Can you take this thing off, Mom?
Yep, and she gave Meg another quick, deep look. But she said nothing else. When Meg finally made her way back down the golden stairs, Louise was waiting for her. How long did it take you to deliver a spool of red thread to a princess? Too long, guessed Mig. That's right, said Louise, and she gave Mig a good clout to the ear. You are not destined to be one of our star servants, that's clear. No, ma'am, said Mig. That's all right, though, because I aim to be a princess one day. You, a princess, don't make me laugh. This reader was a little joke on Louise's part, as she was not a person who laughed ever, not even at a notion as ridiculous as Miggery Sal becoming a princess.